Evaluation question number 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, the school magazine, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? Looking back at my first task of producing a school magazine, I can see how drastically improved and of a higher quality my music magazine products are, and how far I've come. Firstly, I created the first school magazine using sixth formers as the basis and centre feature. This was because of only just arriving, so the main focus for the stories were how we were settling in. I used a picture which included teenage models positioned in a creative way. I chose to edit out using the clone stamp footballers that were in the picture further away. I placed our school logo here. That and the intensifying of the colour of the grass to make it overall more attractive and vibrant was all the editing I did on the image used. This was a very limited amount of editing. The text format was basic and the layout I used was not confidently placed. I tried to use colour in this school magazine but only managed to eliminated number of various colours. However, this was a little different when moving on to produce a second school magazine, which was a special sports edition. I began to increase confidence-wise and therefore felt I could edit a picture more to improve the aesthetic value. I took another photo shoot I decided I would pay a little more focus to mise-en-scène. This meant because it was a sports edition, I would use a basketball to represent this. I began to discover lots of other effects on Photoshop, and this allowed my creativity to flow better. I decided to flip the image and use abstract lines and colours to create an edgy and colourful piece. However, the text was still laid out in a basic format as my confidence with Photoshop was still limited. In my music magazines, I feel my new and developed confidence with Photoshop and other technologies have been shown. My images used were taken for more precise and specific reasons. This meant paying extra attention to clothes, poses, and remaining eye contact with the reader. The effects I used were also very diverse. I edited each picture in various ways and spent extra time making sure every photo was of a high standard and sent/represented the message I wanted. The text was also specifically chosen to fit in with the whole piece. The colours were made to tie into the theme, and time was again spent making sure this was perfect and of a high quality. The layout was developed more as I began to become more confident and therefore more daring. Therefore producing a music magazine that sent over a particular message and looked more professional. I feel overall I have learnt many skills and my confidence with these skills have improved. I felt overall more confident using my blog, and this is shown through the amount of posts I have produced and various technologies within the blog, for example the use of polls and presentations.